Hello and welcome to the most important video tutorial I got on my channel. Here I'm going to show you how to solve this holes issue at the end of your project. I see many people asking how to solve that problem, and here will be the answer for you, so stay with me. There are a few simple things you must do to make it not happen, and now I'm going to show you all those things, which will make your project done perfectly. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's start. So first and most important thing is to make sure that you use the right size of hook for your yarn. So how do you know that you use the right size of hook? So for example here, in every kind of yarn you have this paper which recommends you to write to the right size of hook. So for example here, it recommends 4 to 5 millimeter crochet hook. So you must make sure that you use the lower that recommends. Here is 4 millimeter, or even 1 or 2 sizes smaller. So the next thing is using the yarn under method. Third thing is using the invisible decrease. If that's Spanish for you, so don't worry, just stay with me. I'm going to show you and follow each one and explain how to do that. And last thing, and very important also, is keep your stitches tight when it comes to the decreases rows. So those all things that will make your work end up like that, close firmly and nice. And now we're going to move and to show you how to do it. So I just started this one and I have 30 stitches around, and now I'm going to start the decreases rows. So first thing we said, yarn under method. How you are doing the yarn under? You take your hook into the stitch and grab like that. Yarn under, go through the stitch, and when you have 2 loops on the hook, you continue regularly. Just yarn over and go through those 2 loops. Let's do it again. You go into the next stitch, you yarn under, go through the stitch. When you have 2 loops, you yarn over and go through both 2. So that's 2. Let's show you again. You go into the next stitch, yarn under, like that. Go through the stitch, and when you have 2 loops on your hook, you just yarn over and go through those 2. That makes your stitches be tighter and less holes, and it's very important to use when you're starting the decreases rows. Okay, now we go to the next thing, is use invisible decrease. So how to do invisible decrease? You take your hook into the front loop only. When you're doing invisible decrease, you have to use the front loops only. So in every stitch, you have 2 loops. You have the front loop, which is this one, and you have the back loop, which is this one. So for the invisible decrease, we're going to use the front loops only. So you go into the next stitch, you pick the front loop only, then straight into the front loop only of the next stitch, like that. Then you yarn under, go through those 2 loops, and then when you have 2 loops on your hook, you yarn over and go through both loops. So that's an invisible decrease. So I will show you again. You use only the front loops. So into the front loop of the next stitch, straight into the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn under, go through both loops. When you have 2 loops on your hook, you yarn over, go through both loops. That's a decrease. So now I will just continue this row. See, it stays tight. Last thing is keep your stitches tight, so really make sure you keep them tight all the way. I will continue and I will be back before I'm going to finish the last row to show you how to put the stuffing so that will stay also tight. Now I got 18 stitches around. That's how it looks like for now. And now I always recommend to stuff when you have 18 stitches around, or even 12 if it comes to thicker yarn. Also, that's very important thing. You must make sure that you don't overstuff, so your stuffing doesn't make the holes. For now that's enough. Next row you can add some more stuffing before you're closing your project. So now those 2 last rows are the really important ones to make sure that you have no holes. So again, you must continue the same way, yarn under method, invisible decrease, and keep your stitches tight. So we just continue, yarn under, that gets a little bit harder because you really need to keep the stitches tight, but it will give it a very, very better look when you close your project. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about to finish the row, 16, 17 and 18, you can see the finishing. Looks much better than that, which was one of my first projects I ever made. Now, if you feel like you need some more stuffing, you can just go slowly and put some more. Okay, and now we have 12 stitches around, and now it's the last row. Just make 6 decreases. Make sure again you use only the front loops. That's 1 decrease. Well, sorry for that. Yarn under. That's 2 decreases. Three. 4. 5, and last decrease. 6. Okay, so now we want to finish off. Take your hook into the next stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and just cut your yarn. That's how it looks like. Now I will show you also how to sew and close the little hole here. Anyways, those 4 will make your project finish and close perfect with no holes. And I hope that helps you. So you just take the front loops of each stitch of the last row. You pick up the front loops. Into each stitch like that. Pick the front loop only. And then you just pull tight. And hide your yarn. And there you go. Perfect closing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.